ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Donna Just Being Real. My channel is all about dating, love, relationships, and toxic relationship advice channel. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get back into this one. But today, we are going to focus on... let me take care of this real quick. We're going to focus on the girlfriend. Yeah, And I really want you to share your thoughts and opinions about this whole thing. And you know, make sure you hit the like button, share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, subscribe to the channel, share me out, and all that good stuff. All right. So today is day 3. And what we're focusing on, let me get into this one. I'm so sorry, Ian. What do we focus on? Okay, we focus on Ham Hock. Back with Ham Hock again. Ham Hock eating Henry Dinkins, day 3 trial. Girlfriend Andrea. So, Culberson. So we're going to focus on the girlfriend, what she had to say on the stand. This was on day 3 of the trial. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so what you do, you make sure you hit the like button, share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. And if you need to reach out to me for coaching, dating, love, relationship, toxic relationship, you need advice on, feel free. You'll find my email address in the description. Or you just need to talk to me about something, or you have a viewer's request. But just read the description so you can find out more about this trial. And also check out my past one because I have the interrogation and the body cam on there. And really watch that body cam. You get to see a lot about the girlfriend. This is interesting. All right, so we're going to get into this one here. And BG, stay with the roses, okay? Stay with the roses. All right, so we're gonna get into this one. Let me
They would like to have the determination.
Okay, just get me started now. Let's get it. And I have it on speed. Since we're doing a recap, I have it on speed 1.25, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it.
Determines that Aisha Langford is released from any further testimony and a witness in this case. Is that correct, Ms. Cunningham?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And Mr. Freese?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Cunningham, you may proceed.
Your Honor, the state calls Andrea Culberson to the stand.
Okay, there she go. I was gonna pick up speed. Now this is the girlfriend. Really listen to her testimony. I just want to add real quick about this whole trial that I've been watching. What bothers me is when we have children, our job is to protect them and put them first. And it seemed like this little beautiful angel. Let's show the angel right here. She wasn't put first, and she wasn't protected. I feel if this would have happened, this little girl right here would have been alive right now. And that's sad. These are my thoughts and opinions of how I feel about it, what I seen in the trial and watching news clips and everything and what I was reading. She was not protected and she was not put first. And she's a child who did not ask to be born. Let's resume.
You may proceed, Ms. Cunningham.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please state your name for the record and spell both your first and your last name.
Andrea Culberson, AndreaCulberson.
Ms. Culberson, how old are you?
39.
Are you a resident of Scott County?
I am.
What was your address back in July of 2020?
2744 East 53rd Street, Apartment 8.
I assume that that's an apartment complex?
It is.
And what was the name of the apartment complex?
Jersey Meadows.
Could you identify the location of the Jersey Meadow apartment complex relative to businesses there on 53rd so that we've got a perspective?
It's right there by Portillo's, AT&T, Walmart. It's right in the business area.
All right. And then are you familiar with the business of Costco?
I am.
Okay. Where is the apartment complex located in reference to Costco?
I'll say like right beside, right behind it.
Okay. And do they both lie on the same side of 53rd Street?
They do.
All right. Are you familiar with a gentleman by the name of Henry Dinkins?
I am.
How are you familiar with Henry Dinkins?
I was his girlfriend at the time.
As of July of 2020, how long have you and Mr. Dinkins been in a relationship with one another?
6 years plus.
All right. And throughout that period of time, how long had you?
Now listen to what she said. 6 years plus. 6 years. You've been with somebody for 6 years? She should know her man. What do you think? You'll see why I'm saying this as it goes along. Let's resume.
You resided in apartment 8 there at the Jersey Meadow complex.
March to July.
March to July. Who was living there in the apartment with you?
The defendant, Mr. Dinkins.
All right. Let's describe the layout of the apartment. Now, apartment 8, what level of an apartment was that?
It was an upper level.
And then as far as it being an upper level apartment, how would you access the interior of your apartment?
You'll have to unlock the door, go up steps.
Okay. Were there dedicated steps simply for your apartment once you stepped inside that front door?
That is correct.
And if you were entering the front door of your apartment, would the stairs lie to the wall on the right or to the left?
They're like in between.
Okay. After you go up the stairs and you get to the top of the stairs, what essentially would constitute the area off to the left of that staircase?
So you went up the steps. It was a kitchen. So it was living room, kitchen, bedroom.
Okay. Now, the living room and kitchen, was that essentially kind of an open concept?
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
All right. And then in order to access the bedroom, if you go up the top of the stairs, when you get to the top of the stairs, do you see a solid wall?
Yes.
All right. Along that solid wall then, is there a doorway as you move to go toward the living room kitchen area that would lead you into that bedroom?
Yes, ma'am.
How many bedrooms were in your apartment?
One.
And then was there a bathroom in the apartment itself?
Yes.
How would you access the bathroom?
You have to go to the bedroom to get to the bathroom.
All right. Now, we have a drawing on the diagram. I actually want to be able to keep that drawing. But Ms. Culberson, we've got an open spot over here to the left. If I could have you come down, and very simply what I want you to do is to draw the bedroom to include the doorway and where the bed would be located, any window that would look out from the bedroom, indicate the location of closets in that bedroom, and then the doorway into the bathroom. Now, when you do that, don't say anything. You're just going to draw the drawing, and then once you've got that drawing up there on the board, then I'm going to have you come back to the stand where you can use the microphone, and then you'll walk us through that explanation, okay? I know that you're rather short, would it help just to bring this board down so that you can work with it? Yes. Okay, and so you know what I'll do? I'll just stand here and hold it because I'm tall and strong enough to be able to do it. Yes. And don't say anything. Now. Also label what would be the bed, and if you could, is there a window within your bedroom? And don't answer, just go ahead and draw that in there. And then within your bedroom, if there is a dedicated area that you use for a specific purpose, can you also put that within the diagram? And then we'll go back to the witness stand and we'll talk about that. Okay. And also, if there's more than one closet, identify who utilizes each closet for their personal belongings. Okay, go ahead and take your seat. Ms. Culberson, as we look at the diagram, have you drawn a specific room within your apartment?
Yes,
All right. And what room would that be?
that would be the one bedroom in the apartment.
All right. As we look at that, have you drawn the doorway that would enter into the bedroom?
Yes,
Where is it located relative to the top or bottom of our diagram?
it's the top.
When you enter that doorway then, and let's just go ahead and use the orientation of an individual standing there in that doorway. So if an individual is standing in that doorway, off to their left, is there a doorway that leads into a separate room?
Yes, it's the bathroom.
And then if you were to continue along that wall, just beyond the bathroom, is there another area along that wall?
Yes, the closet.
Whose closet is that, or was that?
That would be mine, the one I was using.
Is that where you kept all of your clothing and personal items?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that closet specifically dedicated to you for your own personal items and clothing?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, if you're standing there in the door itself and you're looking straight ahead, what article of furniture would you see?
A bed.
How big was the bed?
I believe it was a queen.
And did it encompass most of the bedroom itself?
Yes.
The bed, as far as the head of the bed itself, where would that be located? Along what wall?
The window.
Okay. Would that be the opposite wall from the doorway?
Yes.
All right. And just above the bed, was there an ability to be able to look out the bedroom to see something?
Yes, ma'am.
What was located on that wall where the head of the bed was located?
The window.
If you were standing there looking out that window, then what would you be able to observe?
The whole parking lot in front of the building.
All right. Now, let's talk about, again, your orientation there at the door itself. And to the left, if you were to go to the left side, there along that wall, closest to the door, did you have a dedicated area there that you used for a specific purpose?
I did.
What was that?
My workstation.
We'll talk about that here in a moment. But then if you were to move from that workstation, going then along that wall toward the head of the bed, was there another designated area along that same wall?
Closet.
And whose closet was that?
It was where he stored his clothes.
Would that be Henry Dinkins?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever put any of your personal items in the closet that Henry Dinkins used for his clothing?
No.
What was your practice relative to, I guess, getting into that closet or respecting his privacy relative to the items that he kept in that closet?
I'm sorry.
What was your practice as far as getting in that closet?
No practice. I never really decided unless I was asked to.
Okay, so then did you respect his privacy relative to what he was storing
I did.
in his own closet?
I did.
All right, let me go ahead and take that. How are you employed, Ms. Culberson?
AT&T
What type of work do you do for AT&T?
customer service.
As far as your work as a customer service representative, do you go to work at an established office?
No.
Where do you work from?
Work from home.
And were you working from home back in July of 2020?
I was.
What does your work consist of as a customer service representative?
Oh, goodness, a lot. I just basically handle people's accounts, order phones, any regular customer service rep.
Okay. Within your bedroom then, the workstation that you've identified as having been set up, was that your workstation that you utilized performing your responsibilities for AT&T?
That's correct.
What were your hours of work as a customer service representative for AT&T?
At that time, I believe I was working 11 to 8.
Would that be 11 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. During this period of time, was Mr. Dinkins employed?
No.
All right. Now, I want to ask you about your knowledge of certain individuals. Did you know Mr. Dinkins to have children with other women?
Yes.
Were you familiar with a young lady by the name of Aisha Langford?
We have been acquainted.
When would you have met Aisha Langford relative to the events of July of 2020, if you recall?
At a gathering down at the river.
And would that have been in the summer of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have an opportunity to meet the children of Aisha Langford?
I have met Victorious once, but not Breasia.
All right. And who did you understand Henry Dinkins to be the father of?
Victorious.
Okay. Now, at any time prior to July 9th of 2020, had Breasia ever come out to your apartment to spend the night?
No.
Had DL, and we're referring to the child as DL, had DL ever come out to the apartment to spend the night?
No.
Directing your attention then to the events of July 8th of 2020, did Mr. Dinkins speak with you about having run into Aisha Langford?
Yes.
And what did he report to you as far as the contact that they had had on July 8th of 2020?
That he was going to spend his time with his son and is going to bring Breasia with him.
All right, now were the original plans to bring Breasia or just simply DL?
This DL.
Okay. Did that later change as of July 9th of 2020?
Yes.
On July 9th of 2020, do you recall what day of the week it was?
No, I do not.
All right. Would it have been a work day, though?
Yes.
With your understanding that DL was going to come to the apartment, normally where would you and Mr. Dinkins sleep?
In the bedroom.
With the child coming to the apartment, was there some discussion about how you would handle sleeping arrangements?
Yes.
And what accommodations did you put in place to handle at least one extra individual staying there in the apartment?
Me and Mr. Dinkins would stay on the air mattress, and the kids would take the bedroom.
Okay. Did you set up some type of air mattress there in the apartment when the children came over?
Yes.
Where was that air mattress set up at?
In my living room.
All right. Now, going to July 9th of 2020, when did you learn that Breasia actually was going to be spending the night there at your apartment with her brother DL?
I believe it's 24 hours.
Okay. Okay. Oh, you thought that she was going to stay for a period of one night?
Mm-hmm.
But when did you realize that then she actually was going to be coming over?
That day.
All right. How did you learn that Breasia actually was going to be there to spend the night with her brother DL?
Mr. Dinkins asked, I said, that's fine.
Sure. Do you recall what time of day that Mr. Dinkins would have returned to the apartment with DL and Breasia?
I do not recall, but I was at work.
You were working?
Yes.
When well, let me ask you this. What vehicles did the two of you have available for use that were driven by the two of you on a regular basis?
A black Camaro and a maroon-ish type of Impala.
All right. Were those two cars always parked there in the parking lot for use at the apartment complex?
Yes.
Was there something distinctive about the black Camaro?
It has some decals on it.
Can you describe the decals for us?
I believe it was a lion head, and I believe two crowns, a king crown and a queen crown on the hood.
Okay. And then was those decals also along the passenger and driver side of the vehicle as well?
I believe so.
All right. Now, the Chevy Impala itself, how would you describe the tint of the windows on that vehicle?
Very dark.
And then did it have specific stickers that were affixed to the vehicle?
Probably.
Do you remember at this point in time?
No.
That's all right. Did Mr. Dinkins drive both of those vehicles?
Yes.
On July 9th, when he had gone to pick DL up, which vehicle had he been driving?
The Impala.
Oh, that's what you thought?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
All right. And at any rate, when Mr. Dinkins arrived back there at the apartment with the children, did he have any clothing for the children as of yet?
As far as I can remember, no.
Right. Once the children got there at the apartment, describe how the day played out.
Oh, I was at work. They were in there doing what they do. I was like, please be quiet, because, I'm at work. And then after a while, Breasia got interested in what I was doing. So we interacted a little bit. Everything was fine. I got done with work, went into the living room. We all were interacting, having fun. It was just another day after work.
All right. When you indicate that Breasia became interested in what you were doing, were you working at your workstation there in the bedroom?
I was.
Were you showing Breasia anything associated with your work responsibilities?
Oh, I actually let her sit in my chair and actually watch what I do.
How was she responding to that?
She was happy. She was happy to learn what I was doing. She seemed interested in customer service. So I was like, sit right on in, jump in with me.
All right. Now, as far as the children doing what children do, what types of activities were they engaged in there at the apartment during the afternoon and evening of July 9th?
Well, outside of playing games on our phones, they were really interested in Grand Theft Auto.
Okay. What is Grand Theft Auto?
It is a game on a Xbox or a PlayStation.
Did you have a PlayStation or Xbox in your apartment?
I had both.
You had both? All right. And were both children playing video games?
Me, Mr.
She got both Xbox and a PlayStation in the house, right? There's no kids that live there. Just her and Ham Hock. Ham Hock ain't got no jobs. What he do? Sit up all day? Smoke weed? Play games? You see, I don't understand these women dealing with these dusties. That low self-esteem will get you... Ooh, boy. All right, let's get back to it.
Dinkins and Breasia were playing on my phone. Victorious was the one more interested
And let me add, not just a dusty, he's a sex offender. And she had to know they was together for 6 years. And he got arrested, I believe, I hope I have this right, the time that Breasia was missing, correct? And they reported, and then they realized, wait a minute, you didn't register because they just moved to this place. She's going to tell that part of the story when the time that they moved there. So listen to the time period. He didn't register. I guess whatever, you're a sex offender, you're supposed to register wherever you at. And he didn't. So they arrested him. But then when they arrested him, then also he became a suspect for the girl's death. Okay. And you had this man laying up in your house. Let's get it.
And playing the Grand Theft Auto
What room was DL located in when he was playing Grand Theft Auto?
in the living room, then eventually the bedroom.
And when you and Mr. Dinkins and Breasia were playing video games, what room were you located
It
in?
was in the living room.
Okay, were you ever in the bedroom, though, playing the games?
I don't recall.
All right, do you recall sitting on the bed with Breasia and playing games?
That I do remember.
Okay, and so when I asked you about being in the bedroom, sitting on the bed, was Mr. Dinkins there on the bed with Breasia playing
Now,
the game?
now that I don't remember.
But you do recall being in there in the bedroom with
Yes.
Breasia playing?
Yes.
All right, how did the evening then proceed beyond that?
Okay, so after a while, I would say like 11:30-ish after that, I got tired. I worked a long day. I'm sleepy. So I went to sleep. I heard Mr. Dinkins tell the tour she got until midnight to keep playing the game, and I fell asleep.
All right, let me take you back in time if I could.
Okay.
At some point in time, was any clothing brought to the apartment for the children to wear?
Yes.
Explain.
Their mother bought over some overnight clothes for them.
All right, would that have been?
Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, that's here, that watch the body cam. You remember the setup of the apartment, right? It was a small place. Once you come upstairs, you immediately hit the living room / kitchen. And there's one door that you go to is the bedroom, and the bathroom is in there. So it's very small. Now you have a 10-year-old girl, you have an 8-year-old, then you have Ham Hock, and you have her. So just think about it, okay? It's very small. You have to see everything that's happening. I'm just saying, just throwing this a little pointers. Let's get back to it.
Included pajamas?
Yes.
How was that accomplished then?
She brought them.
Did she come into the apartment?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Did either child, one of the children, go out and meet the mother in the apartment or in the parking lot of the apartment?
That I cannot recall.
So that's not something that you were a witness to? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then do you have an idea generally what time of evening that Aisha Langford would have dropped clothing off for the children?
I do not.
Okay. Were there any meal times or bath times that night?
Yes.
Describe.
They both took showers, of course, separately, and they were given oversized white shirts to wear to sleep.
All right. Who gave them oversized white shirts to wear to sleep?
Mr. Dinkins.
All right. Who did those shirts belong to?
Mr. Dinkins.
Somebody help me to understand what's up with the oversized t-shirts, the white t-shirts he gave to the kids to wear. And if you remember in the body cam, she had one of those oversized white t-shirts. What's going on, Ham Hock? What was this about? Because the mother did come by the house, if I'm correct. His son was supposed to go and visit, but I guess the son wanted his sister to come. That's Bree. I'm just calling Bree. That was Bree. But he took Bree, then the oldest son, because she got 3 kids, 3 different fathers, right? And the oldest son wanted to come too, but he said, no, you can't come because there's not enough room in the car. Because he had this plan, what he was going to do. So they over at the house. They take showers. And they all wearing white t-shirt. Why you just didn't put on the clothes? Oh, I'm sorry, I might skip something. So I guess when the mother found out that Bree and the son was staying over, she drives over and she brings some clothes for them to stay overnight, some sleeping clothes. She never got out the car. The kids came to the car. I believe she had the dog. The kids asked, can the dog come? Said, no, the dog has to go with me. She left. Now, this is the first time that her son and daughter is at this woman's house. These are children. Don't you want to see who this woman he's sleeping with? What's the apartment? No, she didn't go in to check, right? So the kids went back in with the bags. What's up with the white t-shirts? I'm just trying to understand this. Let's get back to it. And I agree with y'all. She need to do some time too as you listen to this, because I don't understand why she never called the cops. Let's get back to it.
What's size is Mr. Dinkins?
Last time I checked, 4XL.
All right. With the children bathing separately, I'd like to talk with you about your bathroom. What fixtures are within the bathroom?
What fixtures?
Yeah,
There's a sink, toilet, and a shower.
all right. Now, is it simply a shower?
Nope, you walk in, it's sink, toilet, shower.
Is there a bathtub within the bathroom?
Yes.
All right, and then so my question is, some bathrooms simply have a shower. Other bathrooms have the bathtub
No,
with
this
the shower
this
head.
had the bathtub and the shower.
A shower head? All right. As far as the bathtub was concerned, did you have curtains that hung in front of the bathtub, or
Yes.
was it like some type of glass sliding doors?
Nope, shower curtain.
All right. The reason I asked that question, later on when clothing was recovered belonging to the children, Breasia had wet clothing. Do you know what that would have been attributable to?
I'm going to presume that was from the shower,
All right.
getting wet.
All right. Is the bathroom very big?
No,
So if a child were to take off their clothes to get in the shower, and it was within the proximity of that bathtub, would it be very easy for those clothes to get wet on the
Yes.
floor?
yes,
Another question that I want to ask you involves a little washcloth that ended up being very dirty that went back with Breasia's clothes. At some point in time, had there been a washcloth used that she used to wipe down her feet because they were dirty?
at some point, yeah, I presume.
Okay, all right. All right, now, once the children took their baths, did they have dinner?
Yes,
All right, and then after dinner, before people started to go down for bed, what were the activities within the apartment?
that's it.
Okay, were the kids continuing to play video games?
Yes, I don't know how long Victoria stayed on the game after I went to sleep, but that's all I know.
Okay, who was the first individual of the four of you to go to sleep that evening?
Breasia.
Where did Breasia lay down to go to sleep?
The bed, so my bed is on the side with Dinkins' closet.
I'd like for you to come down to the diagram if you could, and just draw us just a basic stick figure to represent the location where you saw Breasia lay when she went to bed that night. I can't hear her. Okay, I'll have you go back to the witness stand so that we can get you back with the microphone. And then have you drawn on the diagram Breasia's location there on the bed?
Okay, so she will be on the left side of the bed by Mr. Dinkins' closet.
And would that be, if you're standing in the doorway, would it be to your left?
I'm sorry, the right side.
The right side, there we go. All right. Who was the second person to go down?
Probably me,
All right. And then when you laid down to go to sleep, where did you lay down to go to sleep at?
on the air mattress,
Where was Mr. Dinkins at the time that you laid down to go to sleep?
on the couch,
All right. And what was he doing there on the couch?
playing on his phone.
All right. From there, then, do you have any idea what happened next?
I do not.
All right. After you fell asleep, was there any point in the night that you woke up?
Yes.
When did that occur?
It was like at 3 o'clock in the morning. Nature called, so I went, and I kind of glanced over. Had no glasses on, so everything was kind of fuzzy. So I saw that she was not there. So I was like, okay, let me go get my glasses so I can see. And I felt on the bed. I'm like, okay, she's not here. And my first reaction, call Mr. Dinkins. No.
When you woke up to go to the bathroom at 3 a.m., was Mr. Dinkins there in the living room of the apartment?
Not at all.
Did that seem odd to you that he wasn't there in the apartment at 3 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay. With the children being there and visiting, did you have any expectation that he would be there throughout the night for the children?
I did.
All right. So you wake up, when do you initially discover that Mr. Dinkins isn't there in the living room?
As soon as I wake up,
What went through your mind when you noticed he wasn't there in the living room?
I have no idea. My mind was everywhere.
All right. From there, is that when you entered the bedroom?
Yes.
Did you see Detorius?
Yeah, I did.
Where was Detorius located at, or DL, I should say, I'm sorry.
He was on the foot of the bed.
Okay, and then again, just go ahead, I'll have you take a red magic marker and mark that so that we understand his location there on the bed. After you put your glasses on, what were you able to confirm?
That she was not there.
Did you check throughout the apartment to see if the child was anywhere in the apartment?
I did.
What areas did you check?
I checked the bathroom again, just in case. I checked the bedroom. I checked the living room. I checked the kitchen. I checked everywhere.
Did you check the closets?
No, I did not.
Okay. Did you look under the bed?
No, I did not.
All right. At any rate, did you find Breasia anywhere?
Nowhere.
With Breasia being absent from the apartment and Mr. Dinkins.
Nikki and blessings mod on deck. You know, and when you realize the way the place is small. You remember in the body cam, you see the child is gone. And then she talked about, this mention is going to come up, she was talking about she felt sick to her stomach or whatever. You know why? Because you knew he did something to that girl. Because you know your man. You know how your man get down with these young kids. I don't like this woman, not at all. Like I said, the reason why this girl is dead, because she was not put first as a child, and she was not protected as a child. Reason.
Being absent in the apartment, how were you feeling?
I don't think there's a word for it.
Okay. Did it make sense?
No.
At any point in time, did Mr. Dinkins wake you up to tell you that he was going to be leaving the apartment?
No.
At any point in time, did Mr. Dinkins wake you up and tell you that he needed to take Breasia somewhere?
No.
Did Mr. Dinkins suggest that there was some type of medical emergency for Breasia?
No.
Did Mr. Dinkins communicate to you that he would have reached out to her mother because the child wanted to go home?
No.
Was there any type of emotional disturbance within the apartment to suggest that Breasia had gotten upset in the middle of the night and wanted to go home?
Absolutely not.
All right. From there, then, when you noticed that Mr. Dinkins was gone, you noticed that Breasia was gone, what did you do?
First thing I did was try to call him. Mr. Dinkins.
What happened when you tried to call him?
It rang and it went to voicemail.
All right. Did you try to call him more than once?
Yes.
What happened?
Same thing.
Did you subsequently discover something
Did I discover something? No.
about his phone?
Oh, it was off.
Okay. What did you do next?
After I got done calling him, there was no answer. I stayed up.
Okay.
I didn't have his phone. I didn't have Miss Langsford's number, so I couldn't call her.
Exactly, 603. She had no suspicion that her man and the little girl were both gone. And he comes in here creeping in 3 in the morning, creeping up the stairs. Where you have to go at 3 o'clock in the morning? We have little kids here. You ain't supposed to be out nowhere at 3 o'clock in the morning. You ain't got no job. He don't have no job. See another woman out here taking care of a lowlife Dusty. It was gravy train. Yeah, you was his gravy train and his enabler. You know about this guy. 6 years. You know what he's all about. Why are you dealing with a sex offender? Why? Yeah, And if you listen to when the son testified, right? And I'll probably do that on Sunday or something like that. I want to play the son. You listen to him. He said something, if I'm correct, that he said that he was staring at her, staring at his sister. Lustful, sick thoughts. All right. Nikki said, I thought she saw him in the parking lot. No, she did. When she looked out the window, if I'm correct, she's going to say it too, that she was looking out the window and she seen Bree out there. So I guess he left with Bree. Then he came back for some sort of reason. And then he disappeared. Then he came back again to get his son. Oh my God. It just gives me the chills, Nikki. It gives me the chills. Reason.
So I just stayed up.
Okay. When you say that you stayed up, what room were you located in?
Living room.
Okay. When you stayed up, did you turn the lights on?
No.
Describe then the environment within the apartment.
So when I got done going to the bathroom, it was dark. No lights, nothing was on. And then like a half hour later, I hear a key. And then heard someone softly coming up the stairs. I guess he thought I was asleep and didn't expect me to be up. And when I saw him, he had on a whole different outfit. So I don't know.
All right. Let's talk about the description of his outfit. Do you recall what Mr. Dinkins was wearing when you fell asleep?
I do.
What was he wearing when you fell asleep?
Kind of like a white beater and colorful shorts, like white, blue, and pink.
All right. And then when he came up, The stairs, what do you remember, if anything, about what he had on?
I would say like a white t-shirt and some blue shorts that look like bandana pattern and some sneakers.
Do you recall the color of the sneakers?
I do not.
That's all right. When he got to the top of the stairs, what was his reaction to seeing you sitting up?
He was kind of surprised, kind of shocked.
Okay. Was there any dialogue that you initiated with Mr. Dinkins?
I tried.
Tell us about that.
I was like, what's going on? Where are you going? What's going on? And he's like, I'll be back. And about the time we're talking, he's inside the room in the closet grabbing something. What is he grabbing? I do not know. But while he's grabbing that, I looked out the window and saw Breasia outside of the car. So now my heart's like, okay. She is with him, she's safe. But yeah,
Okay. He disappears with a kid. And he disappears with Bree. Bree is not his daughter. But he leaves a son. You didn't think there was some sort of red flags if something was wrong with this? And you talking about, he's with Bree. Everything's fine. No. It's not fine. Why the son is not there? Why he didn't take both? Why he just took her? You know why. Resume.
it just seemed weird to me, but I didn't know what to say.
All right. If you were to describe the dynamics in your relationship with Mr. Dinkins, specifically relative to his personality and your own personality, how would you describe the dynamics?
Opposites attract.
All right. How would you describe your personality?
Quiet.
Mr. Dinkins' personality?
Very outspoken.
Between the two of you, was one a stronger person?
I don't know if he knows. I saw a little raise up the cheek, a little smile. Don't tell me you still have feelings for this man, do you? What a shame. He doesn't tell her where he's going. Yeah, exactly. This is 3 o'clock in the morning? And you got your kids here in my house? Well, one of your child and the child's sister in my house? Well, I'm saying it's hers because she the one paying all the bills. He's sitting around playing PlayStation and Xbox.
Personality over the other?
Yeah,
And who would have the stronger personality?
he would.
All right. Were you the type of person that would challenge Mr. Dinkins?
No,
Okay. How would you respond to him?
submissively.
All right. What room or what window did you look out when you said you saw Breasia?
The window above my bed.
Where specifically did you see Breasia standing?
She was like right between like the passenger door and the back door. Like right there.
Of what?
Of the Impala.
The maroon Impala?
Yes.
And how did you know it was Breasia?
Her description is very distinctive. Her hair is very distinctive. The gigantic shirt she was wearing.
Okay. So was she in that white large T-shirt that Mr. Dinkins had the children put on after they took their baths?
Yes, ma'am.
When you look out the window.
What is up with this ham hock with this white T-shirt? Oh my gosh, this gives me so much of chills. And you didn't ask him, why is she outside by the car? Where is she at? Where are you going at 3 o'clock in the morning? Look, she's in my place. I'm held responsible. I don't want nothing to happen to this girl. What's going on? What's happening? No, she didn't question it. She didn't bother. Resume.
And you saw Breasia standing along the passenger side of the Chevy Impala. Were you able to see her face to get a sense of any expression or emotional state for the child?
No, ma'am.
Explain.
It's like her head was like, I had an aerial version of it. So I can only see like the top. I can't see her face.
Okay. And then when you looked out the window, could you see the front of her body, or was it the back of her body, or even a side profile?
Like a side profile.
A side profile. Later on, did you have occasion to draw a diagram for law enforcement to give them a perspective of where you observed Breasia standing relative to the maroon Chevy Impala?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your Honor, may the record reflect that I'm showing counsel what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 93. May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor. I'm handing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 93. Do you recognize State's Exhibit 93?
I do.
How do you recognize State's Exhibit 93?
This was the diagram I created.
And then if you could speak in the microphone so that we could hear that.
This is the diagram that I created,
This diagram depicts what specifically?
where Breasia was standing.
Your Honor, at this time, the State would move to introduce State's Exhibit 93 into the record.
No objection.
Exhibit 93 will be admitted.
Your Honor, may I publish that?
You may.
Ms. Culberson, what I'd like for you to do, can you see this right there on that screen in front of you?
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to tell me how you want to orient this particular diagram. At the top, we see 53rd.
Correct.
Do you want me to keep it there, or do you need me to turn this paper to orient it in a different way?
No, I got it.
All right, okay, so think about our written record. Obviously, we can look at the picture, but our written record is very helpful for us to describe this. Have you drawn 53rd on this diagram?
No, I did not draw 53rd Street.
Is there a marking on there to
Yes.
indicate where 53rd is?
Yes.
What direction does 53rd Street run?
Looks like it's from east to west.
Okay, and on this diagram, where is it located?
To the north?
Okay, and so then would that be to the top of our diagram?
Yes.
All right. Now, as we are looking at what's depicted just below that, can you explain the area so that we've got some perspective of what this diagram is depicting?
This diagram is depicting where I looked out the window and saw Breasia standing.
Okay. I'm going to point to certain areas. This box here that has an X, what does that represent?
The Impala.
All right. The area just above that, that long rectangular box, what does that represent?
That's the parking lot where the apartments are.
All right. And then on this side of the vehicle, which side of the vehicle is that to represent?
That X is where Breasia was standing.
This big open area here, what is this big open area here?
The parking lot.
And then off to what I'm going to describe as I'm looking at it, the right side of the diagram, we've got a larger box. What's that supposed to represent?
Now that I cannot recall.
That's okay. And then we've got what looks like a section that kind of goes straight and then angles off. What is that to represent?
I do not recall.
That's okay. But at any rate, does this give us a perspective of where you saw Breasia standing?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any idea what time that was? That Henry Dinkins came back to the apartment and you looked outside?
It was after 3:30
How do you know it was around the time frame of 3:30?
because I looked at my phone.
And is that how you were able to identify it as 3:30?
Yeah.
When Mr. Dinkins went to the bedroom, where was Victoria sat?
Sleeping on the bed.
Was he still in his original position?
I'm going to presume.
All right. When Mr. Dinkins went into the bedroom to get into his closet, did he keep that bedroom light off?
Yes.
As he went to his closet, you'd indicated that he got something out of the closet.
Yes.
Did you have any idea what it is that he was getting?
I do have no clue.
When he moved away from the closet, could you see anything in his hands?
No.
Do you know that he retrieved something from the closet?
Yes.
And then explain why you weren't able to determine what it is that he got from the closet.
He could have concealed it. He could have put it somewhere where I can't see it.
Okay. From there then, what did Mr. Dinkins do?
Leave.
And then did you see him go down the staircase?
Yes.
Did you continue to watch out the window?
I did.
What did you observe happening?
Car pulling off.
And was Breasia in the car when it pulled off?
Now, windows are tinted. You can't see through.
Okay. So at the point in time that he's in the closet, had you looked away from the window?
Yes,
Okay. And then when he's going down the stairs, do you go back to the window?
I do.
Had he already gotten inside the vehicle?
Yes.
And was at the point in time that he was pulling away?
Yes.
At the point in time he was pulling away, did you see Breasia anywhere in the parking lot?
No.
Does Mr. Dinkins give you any explanation at all as to what is going on?
No.
Oh my gosh, Nikki, you just said something. Must have been. Because I was watching somebody else's commentary. And they was, I guess, somebody was focusing on her. It was an old video, I guess, when the crime first started. I hope I have it right. I don't know how true it is. But I guess she registered to get a gun. But due to the fact that she's under influence, she smokes weed. You're not supposed to do that or whatever. So she lied. So at that time, I think when all this jumped off, she ended up being arrested. And they told her that she's going to end up doing some time for it. So I got the strange feeling because it was 2 guns she had. I can't remember what kind of guns they are. I don't know what the names of all these different guns. A gun is a gun, right? But she might have got a plea deal. Like, we'll let you off if you testify against Ham Hock. We'll let you go. I think. These are my thoughts and opinion. But you have a point, Nikki. I think so. He came back for that gun, because that's strange. What do you come back for? Reason. Low life.
Does he suggest to you that Breasia wanted to go home to be with her mother?
No,
Does he suggest that maybe she hadn't been feeling good and so maybe she's needed some medical care?
no,
Is there any explanation at all?
no.
How are you feeling when you note that he's leaving the parking lot and Breasia is no longer out there?
I can't even tell you.
Are you scared?
Very.
How then do things develop there at the apartment?
Well, eventually, Aisha and Mr. Dinkins come back with the first officer.
Before we get there, does Mr. Dinkins ever return to the apartment again?
To pick up Victoria's, that's it.
Okay, so between the time that he left shortly after 3:30, did Notorious ever wake up?
No.
Do you recall telling law enforcement that he woke up and he was crying?
He woke up, and I told him, your sister's gone, and then he started tearing up.
He started tearing up? Explain what you mean by that.
Like starting to cry.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Tearing up.
Yeah.
All right. Then when Notorious started to tear up, or DL started to tear up, goodness, what did you do to try and calm the child down?
I told him, come in the living room and lay down, because I don't want you to come in the living room. And he did. And then not too long after, Mr. Dinkins shows up, grabs him, and they go.
All right. Do you know specifically what
Okay, so he comes back and now he grabs the son. You wasn't like, well, where's the girl at? Where's his sister? You didn't ask no questions, did you? See? This child died because she was not protected. What a shame.
time Mr. Dinkins got back to the apartment?
I do not.
Now, can you give us a perspective relative to whether or not it was night or if the sun was starting to rise?
That there was light.
Okay. Had the sun just started to rise around the time that he returned back to the apartment complex?
I believe the sun was already up.
All right. Was it still really early in the morning?
Yes.
Describe what happened when you realized he was back,
When he was back
Mr. Dinkins.
to come get Victoria's,
Yeah.
I really don't. I really can't explain it. Yes.
Describe his emotional state when he came into the apartment.
He was like normal.
Okay.
He came and got Victoria's, came and got his clothes, said we gotta go, and left.
All right. Did you ask him about Breasia and where she was at?
I did not.
Okay. Did Mr. Dinkins make any statements to you about there were issues that had developed?
No.
You don't recall any of that?
No.
All right. And then from there then, when you say that he came to get Notorious, had you discovered that his phone was still there in the apartment?
I did.
Tell us about that.
It was plugged up into like my work tower, but there was no charge. It was dead. So that was like early in the morning. So I took it off. I put it on the charger in the living room. And once it charged up and he came, I'm like, here, take your phone so I can call you.
All
and
right.
He took it.
All right. Now, when he came and picked up Notorious, what else did you?
Crystal! So he's sneaking out the house and he's leaving his cell phone, huh? Red flag. But you gonna act like you so naive you don't understand what's happening. Yeah, really. Resume.
Indicate that he took?
A bag of clothes.
Did he leave the apartment at that point?
Yeah, he did.
When he left the apartment, did you actually reach out to him right away?
I did.
Explain.
Because I was concerned. Well, what's going on? Talk to me. What's going on?
Tell me about that.
I tried to get him to talk to me.
And what was he saying?
He wasn't saying anything.
Did you find that troubling?
Very much so.
Were you asking him about Breasia?
I did not.
Okay. So what was the type of question that you were asking him?
What's going on? Is there anything I can do? Is there anything I can help? What's going on? He's like, nope, don't want your help. I'm like, okay. I don't know how I'm supposed to react to that, but okay.
All right. When Mr. Dinkins came, okay, so then he leaves with Notorious. You call him?
Yeah, because he left it there. He actually left the bag. So I called him back, said, you left the bag here. He's like, okay, we're going to need that. So he
You see the dark figure behind that door? I think that's the son. Because on day 3, the son did day 2, the son testified. And day 3, he was cross-examined. And the mother was on there. And then the girlfriend. I think that's the son back there that you see behind the glass wall. The glass door. Or whatever you want to call it. Resume.
came back, got the bag, and then left with the tourists.
Excuse me, Your Honor. We seem to have a lurker. I believe it's the child.
Yes, I was right. Okay.
Thank you.
Did Mr. Dinkins return to the apartment to get another bag of clothing?
Yes.
How did he get access to that clothing?
I actually brought it down to him.
Did you go out in the parking lot?
Yes.
What vehicle was he in?
The Impala.
Did you go up to the vehicle?
I did.
When you went up to the vehicle, were you able to see who was in the car?
I did.
Describe what you observed.
I was him and Victorious, and that's it.
Did you see Breasia anywhere within the passenger compartment of that vehicle?
Not at all.
What went through your mind?
Besides my stomach ripping to pieces, a lot of things.
Okay. Do you want to articulate what went through your mind?
Fear, anger, more fear, more anger, confusion, wanting to know what's going on.
All right. And was Mr. Dinkins offering any explanation at all?
No.
What happened next?
You had those feelings because you knew.
They're at my house.
Let me backtrack, if I could, to talk with you about a specific issue. You indicated that when you went to sleep, did you identify Mr. Dinkins on his phone?
Yes.
All right. And so therefore, was the phone apparently still with a charge?
I'm assuming so.
Sure. Do you know then who would have plugged his phone into the charging station at your desk?
Not at all.
All right. Let's go back then and let's talk, or let's jump forward again, and then let's talk about the issue of the next thing you know, that there is law enforcement at your door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it a detective or a uniformed police officer? What happened during that contact?
He just asked me a couple questions, and that was it.
Where were you at before that contact occurred?
I was at home.
Were you inside your apartment?
I was.
Did the uniform officer knock on the door to your apartment?
Yes.
When he knocked on the door to the apartment, did you come down and answer the door?
No. It was, as I recall, it could have been open, but he came up the steps and started questioning me.
All right. Before that point in time, though, remember, you recall looking out your door.
No.
Do you recall seeing Mr. Dinkins just
No.
down the sidewalk from that officer?
No.
All right. Don't have any memory of that? That's okay. When the officer came in, then what happened?
Came up the steps and started asking me regular questions.
Okay. Did he ask to look around the apartment to see if Breasia may have just been somewhere that nobody discovered?
That I don't recall.
Okay. Do you know if he looked throughout the apartment just to see if she might be in a closet or hiding under a bed?
I don't believe he did.
Okay, and you just don't have any memory of that? That's all right. I just want you to testify as to what you remember. And then from that point moving forward, what were the developments there at the apartment complex that morning?
They searched my place. They were having trouble getting a hold of Mr. Dinkins, come down to the police station. So I called him, and then he went. I asked if he wanted me to come down for more support. I went down there, actually went into an interrogation room, and that's where all the questioning and everything went.
Took place for you?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
Did you try getting a hold of Mr. Dinkins multiple times that morning before you went down to the police department to be interviewed?
Yes.
Did he ever answer any of those calls?
No, ma'am.
Do you know if anyone else was trying to get a hold of him?
I do not.
Had Aisha and family members or friends come out to the apartment complex?
Yes.
Did you have occasion just to talk with her?
I did ask if Breasia sleepwalked or done anything like that. She said no, and I believed her.
Okay. All right. Do you know whether or not Aisha was trying to get a hold of Mr. Dinkins as well?
I have no idea.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that I'm showing counsel what's been marked as States Exhibit 418 and 419 that have previously been introduced. May I approach?
You may.
I'm handing you States Exhibits 418 and 419. Now, let me just ask you some questions before we talk about that. Aisha, how would you describe your cleaning habits relative to your apartment?
Oh my God, I'm a clean freak.
What types of products do you tend to use there at the apartment?
Cleaning products that includes bleach.
Okay. And then what do you use bleach for?
Washing dishes, my laundry, regular cleaning.
Did you have a bottle of bleach there in your apartment on July 10th of 2020?
Yes.
Was your apartment searched by law enforcement on July 10th of 2020?
Yes.
When you look at the two exhibits I've handed you, 418 and 419, do you recognize what's depicted?
Yes.
Okay, and what's depicted in those two photographs?
My large bottle of water and my one bleach.
Your Honor, may I go ahead and publish this?
You may.
Okay. Putting States Exhibit 418 out. Okay. In this photograph.
I don't get it, 603. Who the heck would not ask him where the little girl was? Are you kidding me? My heart would have been beating. Wake up. Where's the kids? Where's the kids? What's going on? What are you doing out here? What do you mean you have her outside? Why is she outside? Get her in this house right now. What's going on here? I would have flipped out. Nah, she want to keep her little ham hock. That's what it was. She want to keep her little low-life, dusty, low-life of a man up in her house. Do
we see the bottle of bleach?
Yes.
Okay. And then going to 419, is that a close-up of the bleach bottle?
Yes.
Is that an off-brand or a name brand for the bleach that you use?
Name brand.
What brand is it?
Clorox.
Okay. And then what size of container?
Say about a gallon.
All right. Is that what you buy, is the gallon size?
Yes.
Where was that item located or being stored originally before law enforcement did the search? And I'll go back to States Exhibit 418.
It would be right underneath the sink. That's to the left of the refrigerator.
Okay, now we see what looks like cabinets that are straight on and then just kind of an
Like
angle.
yes.
That angle cabinet, is the sink located above that?
Yes.
Was the bleach bottle stored underneath there?
Yes.
And then the door that we see right next to the refrigerator, what room does that access?
The bedroom.
All right. To be clear, did Mr. Dinkins bring this bleach bottle into your house?
No.
On July 10th?
No.
Was this something that you had previously purchased?
Yes.
And had it been there in your apartment well before the events of July 9th and July 10th?
That's correct.
Aisha, also, I want to direct your attention to States Exhibit 420, 4-20. May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Handing you States Exhibit 4-20, I'd like for you to look at that exhibit and tell me if you recognize what's depicted there.
My broom.
Okay. And was this a room that you kept within your apartment?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I publish this?
You may.
Okay. And then, did law enforcement seize this during the course of the investigation?
Now that I cannot recall.
That's all right. But at any rate, was that a room that you kept within the apartment for your dedicated use?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Culberson, when you noted Mr. Dinkins' phone in the bedroom on the charger, and you described removing it from the bedroom, where did you plug it into to continue charging?
There was an outlet in the living room right underneath the windows, and I just plugged it in there.
All right. What surface did you set that phone on while it was charging?
The floor.
The floor. All right. One final question. Was Mr. Dinkins somebody that was prone to leaving his cell phone at home when he would go out and about?
No.
Okay. What was his practice relative to his cell phone?
It was attached to his hip.
Okay. Had that always been the case in the 6 years that you'd known him?
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Wow. And you didn't call the cops. Red flag. He's always have it to his hip. You probably paying the cell phone bill too. She works at AT&T at home. She works remotely. What she said, customer service. You probably had him on your plan. Oh my gosh, you was nothing but a gravy train to him. That's it. And I know he's putting his hands on you. He looked like that type of dude. I know he was. Resume.
Freeze.
Thank you. When you fell asleep that night, Ms. Culberson, the children had been playing video games and playing with games on the phones, right?
Correct.
And that included Mr. Dinkins, correct?
Majority mine?
Pardon me?
Majority my phone?
It included Mr. Dinkins' phone, right? Mm-hmm. Yes?
Yes, sir.
And DL played on Mr. Dinkins' phone, right?
Correct.
And you fell asleep that night before DL, right?
Correct.
And you fell asleep that night before Mr. Dinkins left, right?
Correct.
So you don't know if DL was playing games on Mr. Dinkins' phone when Mr. Dinkins left, right?
That's correct.
And you don't know if it was DL who plugged that phone in to your computer tower or not, do you?
That's correct.
And you say it was common practice for Mr. Dinkins to have the phone attached to his hip, but this was not a common night because the children had not come to stay very often, right?
That's correct.
So it wasn't common for the kids to be there playing on the phone, right?
Correct.
And when you found the phone plugged into the tower, it was dead, right?
Very much so.
So at between 3 and 3:30, you found it to be just dead.
Yes, sir.
No battery taken out of it?
No battery taken out of it.
All right. Now, up until the time where the kids go to bed, it was a good night for everybody. Would you agree with me?
Absolutely.
Breasia was happy.
Yes.
DL was happy.
Yes.
Mr. Dinkins was happy.
Yes.
You were happy.
Yes.
Everything was going just the way you would hope it would go that night, right?
Correct.
The sleeping arrangements were agreed upon with you and Mr. Dinkins, right?
Yes.
To get to the spot where Breasia was sleeping, Mr. Dinkins would have had to walk in the bedroom and then around the side of the bed to wake up Breasia, right?
Correct.
That means walking around DL and waking her up, if that's what happened, correct?
Correct.
And you and he were on the floor on the air mattress?
I was on the air mattress.
I also want to add when the brother testified, he said while they were asleep, because the brother and sister slept in the room on the bed. Her and Ham Hock slept in the living room on an air mattress, right? And he said that she kicked him while he was asleep. But I guess he had a sleep, but he just went back to sleep. That gives me the chills. I think she kicked her brother. Could be two reasons. Because when he was getting ready to snatch her, she was scared, like, wake up. Or he was feeling on her, and she was trying to tell her brother to wake up. This is a low-life piece of crap, while she in the other room, in the living room, sleeping on the air mattress. She probably was up, seeing it, but she just didn't want to say nothing. I'm telling you, this woman is not innocent. You could have protected this child. All you had to do was make one phone call, but you didn't do it. Because it was all about him. Him. Resume.
And where was he?
Sitting on the couch.
Okay. And you didn't hear him come in between the time you fell asleep and the time he came in around 3:30, right?
I was up on the couch awake when he came in at 3:30, yes.
I guess my question is between midnight, let's say midnight, because you were sleeping then, right? Mm-hmm. Yes?
Yes.
And 3:30, when you say Mr. Dinkins returns.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a yes?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
You don't recall any other times where you would have heard Mr. Dinkins enter or exit that apartment?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Are you a heavy sleeper or light sleeper?
Depends on the day.
That day?
That day I worked a long day, so I was probably a heavy sleeper.
Okay. Did you recall Vittorius being up and playing games at any point after you fell asleep?
No.
Games can be kind of loud. Was the volume up on these games?
No, not at all.
Okay. When you woke up and you saw that Breasia wasn't there, you said that you were concerned, right?
Yes.
And you were kind of sick to your stomach, I think, is kind of what you alluded to, right?
Yes.
You thought something bad may have happened to her?
Yes.
But you weren't concerned that Mr. Dinkins had done something with her at that point?
I was thinking all kind of things.
Sure. Your mind kind of races at that point because you don't expect a child to be gone, right?
Exactly, yes, sir.
But just so I'm clear, and the court's clear, you never saw Mr. Dinkins and Breasia together, right?
That's correct.
Mr. Dinkins came in the house at around 3:30, and you were trying to talk to him, correct?
Yes,
You never once said to him at that point, "Where's Breasia?" did you?
that is correct.
You never once asked him at that point, "Do you know where Breasia is?" did you?
That's correct.
You never once asked him, "Do you have Breasia?"
That is correct.
Even though you have this feeling in the pit of your stomach that something bad may have happened, it didn't cross your mind to ask those questions, right?
That's correct.
And then he goes into his closet in your bedroom and is looking for something and is kind of being dismissive of you, saying he's doing something, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's when you look outside and you see Breasia.
Yes, sir.
It's a well-lit parking lot, correct?
Yes, sir.
She's standing on the passenger side of the Impala or the driver's side?
Passenger?
And next to the passenger side of the Impala is the Camaro, right?
No, there was a motorcycle.
Okay. And next to the motorcycle was?
I cannot recall.
Okay. Now, you said that you really couldn't see Breasia's facial expressions, right?
That's correct.
But that's not true, is it? Because we had a deposition back last summer, and you were asked in that deposition if she looked scared or upset. You recall that?
No, I don't.
You don't recall being asked, did she look scared or upset? And you don't recall your answer to that?
Apparently I don't, sir.
Would it refresh your recollection to see that line of questioning?
Sure, yes.
If I showed you your deposition, would that refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Culberson, I'm going to show you a copy of your deposition.
Okay.
Dated June 22, 2022. I'm at page 22.
Okay.
Record. I want you to look at lines 14 through 23. There's your reach up. Tell me when you're done, please.
Okay.
You read that?
Yeah, I read it.
Having read that, does that refresh your recollection?
Yes, it does.
And would you agree with me that you were asked that question on June 22, 2022? And the question was, does she look scared or upset?
Correct.
What was your response?
Not at all.
And today, you don't recall what her expression was?
It's kind of hard to express something if you don't see their face.
So you
But for
weren't,
what I saw, her just standing there, she did not look scared at all. She was not like she was frantic, shaking, or anything of that nature. She was just standing there.
did you understand the question in June when you were asked that question?
Yes.
Okay. So your testimony today is, just so I'm clear, is that you have no recollection that she looked something other than normal?
Yes.
Okay. When Mr. Dinkins went into the closet, you didn't see him come out with anything, right?
Not that I can see.
Did you ever see Mr. Dinkins with a revolver?
No.
You never seen Mr. Dinkins with a six-shot silver revolver?
No.
There was a gun in the house, however, right?
Yes.
That gun was found under the bed, right?
Yes.
That was not Mr. Dinkins' gun?
No.
And that gun was actually found under the bed the morning of July 10th, or the afternoon of July 10th.
Somewhere between the mattress?
So you had kids in the house and these guns wasn't a lockbox? Isn't that by law in every state? You're supposed to have some special little lockbox if you have kids around? I'm just saying. Resume.
Yes.
Yes, that was mine.
Okay. But if Mr. Dinkins was digging around the closet and had taken a 6-inch or 8-inch barreled revolver and tried to conceal.
603 says, wait a second. She said that when she woke up, the little girl was gone and he was gone. And then when she looked at when it came back, a little girl was at the car. Yes. She woke up. She realized where they at. They gone. Right? And I believe when he comes back to the house, she looking out the window and see the car, and the girl is standing by the car, Bria. And she's not asking no questions. She's not going off on him. What's going on? 3 o'clock in the morning. He only takes Bria, but he doesn't take the other son. You don't think that's a red flag? because all she cared about was her ham hock boyfriend. That's all she cared about. This is wrong, you trifling hussy. I can't stand her. Resume. And the people that's coming in, make sure you hit the like button. Share your thoughts and opinions. Shout out to the people in the bushes. Or you want to sit back and listen? Hey, it's all good. Just hit the like. Glad to have you.
Feel it. Do you think you would have been able to see it?
That I do not know.
Okay. You ever seen Mr. Dinkins with any Winchester 38 special ammunition?
No.
You ever seen Mr. Dinkins with any ammunition?
No.
You and Mr. Dinkins went through quite a bit of bleach, isn't that true?
I'm sorry?
You and Mr. Dinkins went through quite a bit of bleach, isn't that true?
Yes.
You guys are both kind of clean freaks.
Yes.
You called Mr. Dinkins after he picked up DL later that morning, right?
Yes.
And you were concerned, I think was your testimony, is that correct?
Yes.
You were scared, correct?
Yes.
Again, did you ask him where was Breasia?
No.
Did you ask him if he had Breasia?
No.
What were you scared about?
Everything.
You're scared this little girl was missing, right?
I had a bad feeling in my gut, yes.
But you didn't ask if he had grabbed her since she was standing next to the Impala?
No, I did not.
And then at some point he came back with DL that morning as well to get a second bag of clothes, right?
That's correct.
How was his appearance that morning when he got the second bag of clothes? Was he dirty?
No.
Wearing a white shirt?
You talking about Mr. Dinkins?
Yes.
It was his normal wardrobe. I don't remember what he was wearing. He was very clean.
Wasn't dirty?
No. Not that I recall.
Did you ever have the car doors open at any time to see inside?
When I went down to the car, I can see inside the Impala.
Could you smell any bleach?
Not that I'm aware of. I didn't stick my head inside the car.
Right, but bleach has got a very strong and distinctive odor. We can agree on that.
That's correct.
Didn't smell anything in the car?
No, I did not.
When you saw Breasia outside, you say, by the Impala, were any car doors open then?
No.
You didn't see her open a door to try to get inside?
No.
Didn't see her close a door and exit the vehicle?
That's correct.
You didn't see where she had come from?
No.
And you say at some point Ms. Langford came back over to your apartment that morning of the 10th or that day of the 10th?
That morning,
Sometime that day.
Yeah, sometime, yeah.
She was angry.
Very. I would too.
She kicked your door in, didn't she?
That I cannot answer.
You voluntarily went down to the police station on the 10th, correct?
Yes.
You were supporting Mr. Dinkins, right?
Yes.
In fact, you told the police you didn't like the line of questioning they were coming at you with, right?
At first, I was reluctant.
Well, you told them, like, right out the barrel. It seemed like they were accusing and pointing the finger at Mr. Dinkins right off the bat, right?
Correct.
Thought that they had their mind made up that Mr. Dinkins had something to do with this, right?
Correct.
And you disagreed with that,
At first, yes.
okay? And when the police came to your house to search it, recall the detectives asking you questions like, have you searched all the cabinets?
I heard nothing about searching cabinets.
Did you recall them asking you if you searched everywhere in the apartment because Breasia was small?
No, not at all.
You recall them asking you to, if you knew any whereabouts of Henry at that time?
Yes, I was asked that, yes.
And you told them Henry must be out looking for Breasia.
Yes.
That when bad stuff happens, when there's tragedy or things that happen, Henry likes to insulate you from that stuff, right?
Yes.
Henry likes to protect you, right?
That's what you want to call it, yeah.
And at 10 or 11 o'clock that morning, you got a hold of Mr. Dinkins and told him you would go to the police station with him, right?
Get more support?
Did you ask him at that point what happened to Breasia?
No, I did not.
You had a lot of opportunities to ask him if he knew where Breasia was, didn't you?
Yes.
Never once asked.
Not once.
And you told the police that, in your mind, mind he would never harm his kids, didn't you?
That's what I thought.
Okay, that's all I have.
Ms. Cunningham?
Thank you. Were there questions that you wanted to ask but you didn't ask?
Yes.
Okay. And what questions were you too afraid to ask?
Where's Breasia? What's going on? Do you have her? Where's she at? She okay? If not, oh my God, did you go wrong?
Okay. Ms. Culberson, if you were to describe the person you were then versus the person you are now, would you ask those questions now?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you regret not having asked him those types of questions?
Every single day.
Sustained.
All right. Now let's talk about the issue of the bleach. Relative to bleach, is there a store located right next to your apartment where Mr. Dinkins could have bought bleach?
Yes.
What store is that?
Walmart.
Is that where the two of you would shop?
Yes.
Had you bought bleach there at the Walmart before?
Yes.
Would there be any reason for Mr. Dinkins to travel to Clinton, Iowa and purchase bleach at 7 a.m. in the morning with Notorious in the car?
Not at all.
Does that make any sense to you at all?
Not at all.
All right. Did Mr. Dinkins go to Clinton, as far as you knew, to frequent?
Not that I'm aware of.
Do you know of any occasion where he ever traveled to Clinton during the time frame that the two of you dated?
Not at all.
Okay, all right. Now, I want to ask you about this. Did you notice that Mr. Dinkins had in fact changed his clothes at some point in time between when he came home at 3:30 and then again when you saw him after the sun had started to rise?
Outside the part where I saw him at 3:30, no.
Okay, and at what point in time did you realize that he changed his clothes?
When he came back at 3:30, like half hour after I got up.
Okay, so between the time that you went to bed, was the clothing that he was wearing distinctly different from the clothing that you saw him wearing at 3:30 a.m. in the morning?
Absolutely.
And was that the white T-shirt that's kind of like the the wife beater T-shirt?
Yeah.
And then those bandana style shorts?
He had, no, his first outfit was a white beater and those colorful shorts. The second outfit I saw was like a white dingy T-shirt and blue pants that looked like bandana. And
Okay.
a bandana print.
All right, all right, let's talk about this then too. The game that DL is playing, what game was that?
Grand Theft Auto.
And then what device was he using to play Grand Theft Auto on?
First it was the Xbox that was in the living room, then the PlayStation that's in the bedroom.
Okay, so then did that require him to utilize Mr. Dinkins' phone to play that?
You don't really need it to play it, no.
All right, and you had indicated that your phone was being used to play a majority of the games?
Yes.
Who was using your phone to play a majority of the games?
You know, it was actually me, Mr. Dinkins, and Breasia. We were playing Jumanji.
Okay, all right. At any point in time, was Mr. Dinkins using his phone to play games or allowing the kids to use his phone to play games?
Not that I recall.
All right. I want to take you back to your deposition, and here's what I'd like for you to do. I want you to read page 22, and then I want you to go ahead and continue on and read the discussion that occurred relative to you observing Breasia standing out there by the maroon Chevy Impala. Just read this to yourself and don't say anything. Go read page 22 and then go on into page 23. Okay. Did you have an opportunity to read the testimony that you gave at your deposition?
Yes.
Is that consistent with the testimony that you provided here in courts today?
Yes.
All right. Let me ask you this. When Mr. Dinkins came into the apartment at 3:30 a.m. in the morning, when he unlocked that door, how would you describe what you noted about his use of the key?
What do you mean?
Did it seem like it was just like a normal unlocking, or did you have the perception that he was trying to keep you from hearing things or keep you from waking up?
Probably keep me from waking up. It was pretty quiet.
Okay. And then when he came up the stairs, what did you notice about his gait as he came up the stairs?
It was quiet.
Okay. And was that suspicious to you?
It was.
What were your thoughts when you noticed him coming up those stairs very quietly?
That he probably thought I was asleep.
All right.
I know what your thoughts were. There he go back again, messing with these young kids. That's what your thoughts was. But you kept it quiet, because you want to protect your ham hock. You want to protect your man. Your low-life bum. It's almost done, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know. I know 603 said yes. Let me know if you want me to show the body cam so I can show the body. Cause this is almost done. I got some time so I can show the body cam so you can get a glimpse, or whoever didn't see it, of the apartment that they live in. So you can see the setup that she's talking about. Reason.
Did you question whether or not he was trying to keep you from waking up?
No,
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. You didn't specifically ask him, were you coming in here quietly because you didn't want to wake me up?
no, I didn't ask nothing like that.
But did you think that that's what he was doing?
Possibly.
And when you looked out the window and you saw Breasia standing there along the passenger side of the Impala, did you see anybody else out there in the parking lot?
No,
Who was the only individual you saw out there in the parking lot?
Breasia.
Okay. And between the time that you saw Breasia standing there on the passenger side of the vehicle, if you were to describe if there was much of a time elapse between making that observation and Mr. Dinkins going down the stairs and out the door, was there much of a time elapse at all?
A little bit,
And if you say a little bit, what do you mean by that?
maybe a couple minutes.
Okay, so a really short period of time?
Yes.
All right. Did you believe that Mr. Dinkins left the apartment complex with Breasia in that car?
Objection, calls for speculation.
Your Honor, I asked her if she believed.
And it's irrelevant and immaterial what her opinion is.
Your Honor, we've laid the foundation for her observations, and the state does believe that that's an appropriate question to ask.
And it invades the province of the fact finder.
Overruled. She will answer the question.
Yes,
All right. Were you aware that Mr. Dinkins had a box for ammunition in his closet?
no,
Okay. I have no further questions.
Mr. Freeze?
It wasn't exactly unusual for Mr. Dinkins to leave for extended periods of time, right?
that's correct.
And he would leave sometimes in the middle of the night, wouldn't he?
Sometimes, yes,
Sometimes he wouldn't come home at all, right?
that's correct.
And you didn't know where he'd go, right?
That's correct.
And when he would go somewhere in the night and come back, he would come in quietly and not try to wake you, right?
Yes,
Okay. I have nothing further.
Ms. Cunningham,
I have no further questions.
you may step down. We will adjourn for the day. We will reconvene at
Where could he be? He ain't got no job. What is he doing? You just letting him just come in and out your house like that? Not paying anything? Nothing? Ooh, Lord have mercy. All right, I'm going to show this body cam. Let me know. 603 says yes. Let me know. Come on, give me some feedback. Show the body cam so y'all can get a better idea with the setup of the apartment. Okay, it's going to be mute for just a second, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm going to show it. And there's also another body cam. I didn't even see that one after this one, but it's a little bit shorter time than this one. Let's just do the body cams. Okay, I'm setting up right now. We are getting ready to watch the body cam. And in this body cam, you can see the setup of the apartment and everything. And you get to see how she acted. So this is a cool thing. So let's watch it. All right, Nikki, let's do it. All right, I have it on speed 1.25. If it's too fast for you, what you can do is hit the setting and slow it down on your end. Okay, but we're going to do 1.25, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it. Body cam.
Your mom? Yeah. Okay. How do you spell it?
A-I-S-H-I-A.
Last name?
Langford, L-A. N-K. F-O-R-D.
Date of birth?
8/28 of 1991.
Address?
614 West 63rd Street, apartment number 1,
Phone number?
563
Yep.
676 4247.
Okay. And Henry lives here.
Yeah, I guess so. This is where he told me to come.
Okay.
He don't even know how long she's even been gone.
Yeah. What's your daughter's name?
Breasia DR EA
E-A.
SIA.
B-R-E-A-S-I-A?
Yes.
Okay.
Terrell TERRELL.
Okay. What's your middle initial?
D
Her date of birth?
12/4/09.
Okay. What's up, Henry? So when was the last time you saw her? Yeah, when was the last time you saw her?
9:30.
Last night?
9:30.
Okay. Okay.
With him.
Okay. When was the last time you saw her?
She was in the bed when I woke up this morning.
She was in the bed?
Yeah.
When you went to bed last night? Okay.
This is crazy, man. This is like, you know what I'm saying? I know she fucking going fucking hysterical, big brother.
Yeah. D-I-N.
K-I-N-S.
Your date of birth, Henry?
August 2nd, 72.
Is this your home address?
No.
What's your address?
It's down by Ralston Carina.
Just, I just,
Yeah, I just know down.
you don't know your
I don't know
address?
full address.
Do you know your phone number?
Hell no, I don't even know that either. I swear to God, I don't.
Henry, you don't know your daughter, your address, you don't know the phone number.
I'm finna
So,
go to you
like,
now. You think I'll be lying, but
well, no, it's just, it's kind of,
because I don't call myself.
I know, but you gotta know your number. You gotta know your address.
I don't.
So this is your girlfriend's address here?
This is good for it.
Okay.
Okay, here go my phone number here.
Okay, what was she last wearing?
In the bed. What you have on some shorts?
What color?
I don't remember. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't
What's her height and weight, you think?
She's a little tall.
He been with her for 6 years, laying up in her house, living in her house for free, and he just calls, oh, she's just a friend. You see? Wow, wow.
Taller than he is.
Okay.
She's a little taller than that. She's probably about like this here.
Okay. What's her hair look like?
She had dreads. Long. Dreads.
Long.
Long and dreads hair?
Yep.
Like shoulder length or
Down.
middle of the back?
Down here.
Okay. Mid back, dreads. Right? Is that how we would
Yes.
label that?
Yes.
She had shorts on.
Did she still have a white shirt on?
She had that long, she had the shirt that you gave her.
The white shirt.
All white?
It's
White, all
long.
white t-shirt, yeah.
These are not smooth straight across. There's like.
And you guys don't have alarms or anything on your doors if the door's open?
No.
Okay.
You should get one. You should get one.
She's too
And
I'm gonna get one.
listen, I know this sounds dumb. I've lost my kids too.
Right.
Okay. Actually, mine just happened last week, and we went back in and we found them in the bedroom.
No, we just searched.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to who have you called?
Oh,
What
no,
doors
no.
have you knocked on?
I don't know these people out here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I called her.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And she told me she was at work. At first, I was riding around looking. And then me and my son start riding around looking.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then
So how long ago has it been? An hour?
it's been a couple hours.
Couple hours?
Couple hours.
Okay.
Couple hours.
Have we called grandmas? Have we called
That's
cousins?
what I just asked. She's the one. I don't know all that. She knows all that.
She called them already.
She
Okay.
knows all that. Not me.
Okay. Do we have a picture?
She does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mom.
Yeah. She got the picture, bro.
Who's the girl that lives here?
Andrea.
Andrea? What's Andrea's last name?
Culberson.
Culberson.
He need a picture of her.
You don't have nothing with you right now. Okay, that's fine. Have we called family?
I've called everybody. I have my
Okay.
uncle out riding around. My mom's on the way out here. My
We've been
friend's on the way
everywhere.
out
We've
here.
been every
Okay.
fucking way.
And she's gonna be with a friend inside some apartment,
That's
most
why I
likely.
said I'm.
A little history. That's Bria's mother. And they met when she was 18, and I believe he was like 40. And that's what she said on the stand, and she said he lied about his age. I mean, how you don't know 20-year difference, but whatever. So, it was 40. And when she met him, she was 18 when she met him, and she already had 2 kids. and Bria was 2 years old at the time she met him. So within their 2-year relationship, she had his son. That's the little boy that you see walking around there. Okay? Let's get back to it.
I'm gonna still look.
We don't know anybody out here, though. That's the thing. She would have never. She would have never. First of all, she would have never woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning. She would have never.
What you mean? 8 o'clock in the
I'm
morning.
just saying.
That ain't what I said. I never
I know
said.
you didn't say that.
This isn't the time to fight.
Exactly. I don't give a fuck about you walking, nigga. You lost her though.
How did I fucking lose?
Because you was watching her, Henry. What the fuck do you mean?
But hey,
I'm gone, sir. Come on, D.
listen to me.
Fuck that. I'm gone.
Well, you guys gotta come together right now. This isn't a time to fight about it. Okay? So, well, hey, if you, well, how am I supposed to, what do you want me to do?
See how she stepped on me. You don't,
I mean,
I
got no picture. I got nothing. What do you want me to do?
What am I supposed to do?
Right.
You know what
I
I'm
get
saying?
it.
All I can do is
Henry,
look.
I get it.
All I can do is look.
I get it, Henry. Henry, let's go inside the apartment one more time. Look, this happens more often than you think. Well, I understand why she's upset, but when I'm trying to help, she can't run away from me. I don't.
And deal with the issue.
Yes.
You got to keep a level head.
Yeah.
You know that. I learned that a long time ago. Fuck, man.
104 and 105.
How many times have you guys stayed out here?
How many times have I been out here? The kids, this is their first time.
Oh, it's the very first time she's ever stayed here.
104 and 105, start forward.
And so
She's been over here, but they never stayed.
she has never stayed here.
The daughter,
Like I said,
So I wonder just.
daughter saying she was assaulted by the mom, and the mom is not allowing her to get a name.
this is such a small.
We got-
She's not in our look.
While others Google.
I'm fucking happy. She's gonna open the door now. She's gonna open.
What's her name?
She's gonna open.
Hi there. Are you Andrea?
Yeah.
Okay, Andrea. What's your date of birth, Andrea? So tell me about, like, when was the last time you saw her?
She was here.
When?
That first sleep like around 11 midnight. She was here. She was in bed sleep.
Okay. And you guys never heard her come down, walk out? There's no forced entry or anything like that? Okay. Do you mind if I just come in and take a quick look? I'm not concerned about anything else. I just want to come in because probably 50% of the time we still find them inside the place when this happens. And
Well, I kind of do my face kind of break right now.
what's that?
My face is kind of been a wreck, but...
Listen, I go in all sorts of places. I don't care how big
Is
it
he
is.
aware of this?
What's that?
Is he aware of this?
Yeah.
Why are you asking? Is he aware of it?
What's her name again? Was there any fights or arguments or anything last night? Bree is her name? Where was she sleeping at? Your bed? So where were you guys sleeping at last night? You guys slept out here? Can you look in the closet again? Huh?
That's all closed.
I know, I'm just telling you, you'd be surprised what we've...
I know, right?
So she was sleeping in the bed with her brother? And you guys slept out here? Okay. What time did you guys wake up?
Now, I was still asleep. I don't know what time everybody else got up.
Well, what time did you wake up?
Oh, goodness, honestly, I cannot remember what time I was.
Okay, like 30 minutes ago, 2 hours ago? 2 hours ago? Okay. Hey, does she have any friends out here? Like, has she ever played with any of the neighbors? Okay, are you going to come out and help look or not?
That's the end of that body cam. He just walking around. Okay, I'm going to show you this other body cam that I'm going to let y'all go. Let me show this other body cam. This one I actually didn't see myself. Alright. It's going to be silent for a second. Let me set it up.
We can be on the sidewalk.
You know where we can also get some more printouts of, we got some flyers that we're about to go out and hang out.
Where we could get some more?
Like, printed, because my cousin, she ran out of ink.
I know Quick Start might have one of those things where you pay like a quarter or a copy or something like that, if that's something you want to look into.
So there was a flip flop.
That looks like the grandma back here. I think this is grandma. Okay. Okay, let's get back to it.
That they found down there, and we just want to make sure if it's if something she would wear or not, if it was hers, okay?
No, I don't think that one was.
No. All right. Yeah, but I know Quick Start will do that, and then tomorrow during the day, I'm sure one of those copy places.
Sure, is it all
and
over
even if you
Facebook?
talk to them and you show them, I'm sure they'll be even willing to do something.
For free. That's what I was saying.
That's what I would
But
imagine.
we already, gonna put them out. But that's a blessing. That's a blessing.
So
Thank you.
we're going down to the station. So with everything,
No, that's not hers.
so there's behind the scenes type stuff. Okay, we're doing search warrants. We're doing pinging the phones. Okay. Okay. But we have his mobile home down there. The FBI is down there. Everybody is working on it, okay? It doesn't end, okay?
I know, but it's 9:31 and I haven't heard from her. No way. I know. No, that's not her shoe. It's not her
we just had to make sure.
Emmanuel, I know she's hurt what happened to her daughter, but just help me to understand, why would you be okay with your daughter being with a sex offender? I just don't get that part. I really just don't get it. Resume.
Okay.
Yeah, but we appreciate it.
Not
okay.
I can't go to sleep with that. Like, what the fuck? It's 9:30 and she's nowhere. Nowhere. I can't even talk to him. What the fuck, man? She's dead. What the fuck?
Detective Obert, based on just what the child had showed you down in the area of Credit Island and where the RV was parked, was there any video canvassing that was done down in that area?
Yes.
Describe.
There were several detectives that went out and recovered video footage from businesses and residential areas. Some of them included Jack's Break and Alignment, which is near Schmidt and River Drive, as well as Perina, which is near Schmidt and Rockingham Road, Devon Self Storage, which is for in the 2000 block of West River Drive, and then Sarah Lowe's residence, which is 2358 West River Drive, was also canvassed, and video footage was recovered from there.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and erase what we have on the diagram, and I'm going to have you draw the location of those various addresses so that we have some perspective of
Okay, ladies, I'm not going to hold you any more because I thought it was more body cam. It's just him on the stand, this detective, this lead detective. Okay, it's getting late. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for hitting the like, and shout out to the people in the bushes. Stay tuned for some more of Donna Just Being Real. And let's have a moment of silence for this angel. Let's have a moment of silence because you was not protected. Adults put their self first before you. You should be still alive. And this heifer right here, you knew what your man was doing. You was with this man for 6 years. You knew he was a sex offender, and you knew. You woke up, that child wasn't there. You knew something wasn't right, and you saw a child outside, but you didn't do anything. These are all my thoughts and opinion. I would not let my child be around a creep like this. I wouldn't even entertain a creep like that. It's just not happening. Just look at him. No good for nothing. No good for nothing. Okay. Now, let's have a moment of silence, ladies and gentlemen.